The Phoenix Suns shocked everybody and started out this season on fire. However, since then they have been very disappointing and they have not looked like the team that they look like in the first few weeks of the season. In today's video, we talk about what happened to the Phoenix Suns. Let's get right into it. I don't think anybody predicted that the Phoenix Suns would have as hot of a start as they did coming into the season. They were winning almost all of their games, and the few games that they did lose were very close, and they were to very good teams. All of their players were looking very good. They were playing with great efficiency. Their team was just clicking on all cylinders. However, after a great 2 to 3 first weeks of the season, they have been pretty much terrible since then, and they have gone back to the Phoenix Suns team that we've seen over the past few years. When you look back at the period of time that the Suns were looking like a top team in the NBA, I think it's easy to understand why they have regressed since then. Every single player on their roster during this run was playing to their absolute max potential, which obviously isn't sustainable. Aron Baynes and Kelly Oubre were playing their roles perfectly. They were looking like elite role players, like top players in the league. Ricky Rubio was looking like an all-star point guard, and Devin Booker, their star player, was looking like a superstar. Dude was averaging like 27 points on over 50% shooting from 3 during this run, which is absolutely ridiculous. Pretty much every single player on the Suns roster was just playing out of their minds at the beginning of the season. Since then, the Suns have kind of dropped back into reality, and now we are seeing the team that we have seen the past couple of years. Devin Booker has slowed down after an insanely hot start, like I mentioned before, and even though he is still putting up great numbers, obviously 27 points per game on over 50% from the field, over 50% from 3 is not going to last the whole season, so they are not getting that insane production that they are from him. Aron Baynes and Kelly Oubre, while they have still been great, and I think that they are probably the most consistent players on the team, they obviously are not going to be giving you 20 a game like they were at the beginning of the season. Ricky Rubio can be very good some games, but he also disappears some games. Ricky Rubio, I feel like, is kind of a hit or miss guy, and I think he's still doing a great job as their point guard, as a distributor, as a floor general, but like I said, hit or miss. He can be great one game and absolutely disappear the next game. The young guys were looking very good. Their rookies, their second year players were looking very good. They were looking like veteran players in their first couple weeks, but they have kind of come back to that immature, inexperienced young players that they are. They have looked like those inexperienced guys. So the Suns are kind of back in a position where they were last season and the seasons before that, but I don't think that it is the end of the world for the Suns, and even though they are not looking very good right now, they still have a lot to look forward to. I think that the run that the Suns had in the first couple weeks shows what their potential is. Devin Booker could be that dude averaging 30 a game, leading the team for the Suns, and I think that he will be. I think that people forget, since he came into the league at age 18, that he is still very young. He is still 22, 23 years old, still has a lot of time to improve and grow, not even close to his prime yet, and obviously a lot of the other players on their roster are very inexperienced as well. Kelly Oubre has been one of the better players on the Suns this year, and this is his first year in an expanded role. On the Wizards, he was really just a corner 3 shooter. Dude did not do that much. He came off the bench. This is his first year in an expanded role, or I guess last year with the Suns he kind of had an expanded role, but now he has kind of been pushed into that second star player role for the Suns, and I think that as he embraces it more, he will also become better. Obviously, they have a lot of rookies: Ty Jerome, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton has been suspended. He was suspended during their great run. He was suspended for like the first 25 games. Came back for one game, got injured. Once he gets back, as he gets better, the Suns will be very good as well. And I think that, like I said before, the run in the first 2 to 3 weeks for the Suns shows what their ceiling is, shows that they can be a top 3 team in the West when they are at their full potential, if everybody can do their job. The Suns had little to no expectations coming into the season, so I think that these low expectations led to the excitement that happened after their hot start. Nobody expected this out of a bottom feeder lottery type team, as the Suns have been for the past few years, and I think that this also had an effect on their opponents. Their opponents weren't expecting anything from the Suns, so I think that the Suns caught a lot of team off guard in the first couple weeks, and that is another reason for their run. And obviously every player on that team overachieved. Like I said before, Devin Booker, even though he is great, he was even playing out of his mind, and all their role players were doing their job perfectly as well. Obviously, the Suns have been very disappointing, and it's kind of sad to see where they have gone since having such a great start. They're currently 10th in the West, so one of the worst teams in the West. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. Not very impressive at all. In fact, very, very disappointing. But like I said before, I think that run kind of showed the potential that they have and the type of team that they can be if they can keep building chemistry and if they can keep developing their young guys. I think that they will be great. DeAndre Ayton, like I mentioned before, once he returns, I think that the Suns will be a lot better, and as he develops with their team, I think that ultimately it's just going to take time for the Phoenix Suns, and if their management can be good and consistent, unlike it has been for the past few years, if they can keep a head coach for more than one season and they can kind of build a system, I think that the Suns will be a very good team in the future, and I think that they are in a good position. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and remember to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks a ton. I'll see you in the next one.